no coffee. God, it's still like 9:30 in the morning here, and the cicadas are so loud. Does anybody else live in a part of the country where cicadas are like really bad right now? Like I can hear them from where I'm sitting. You might hear them right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. Today we're back with another episode of Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. I think this is the 6th video I've done about an episode of Beyond Belief. I had no idea when I started covering this on my channel. It was the 2nd video I ever did, was my first Beyond Belief video. I had no idea how many other people grew up with this show or had this show as a big part of their life when it was on, like I did. And you guys keep requesting episodes, so I just keep doing them. I think they're really fun. Today we're looking at Season 2, Episode 12. I know a couple of the stories at least are going to be stories that were requested. If your requested story is not here, or if you've watched all the Beyond Belief videos and you still haven't seen your favorite story, don't worry. There's gonna be more Beyond Belief videos in the future, I'm sure. So let's just jump into it. You know the drill. We're gonna hear 5 short stories from Jonathan Frakes, and then we're gonna find out which ones were real and fake at the end of the episode, and we will probably all be wrong. But it's fine.
Tonight's stories on Beyond Belief all contain a touch of evil.
Okay, just no additional context. That's fine. I have questions, and I'm sure those questions will be answered.
Truth can be an elusive thing. In this illustration, there are actually 2 cubes, but we see only one.
But I see 2 cubes. You guys see it, right? There's 2 cubes. It's like the one on the left, and then the white one is the front face. Like, you see it, right? I know I explained it very badly, but there's 2.
When you attempt to determine the truth, keep an open mind, and don't box yourself in.
Okay, now I'm really confused, because if you were only seeing 1 cube, I thought that would be the cube that people would see first, more so than the other one, right? Is anybody else confused already?
The charm of the merry-go-round, the memories it brings back of carefree summer days, cotton candy, carnival balloons.
Six Flags Over Georgia has this carousel that just randomly has carvings of topless women all over it. Anyway.
Round and round it goes, and where evil lurks, nobody knows.
That's not the rhyme. Okay, so this first story is about this girl. Her dad, before he died, operated this carousel
in the Florida Everglades.
In the Everglades. And now she's trying to get it back up and running.
I'll never forget the first time my daddy lifted me onto one of the carved ponies. I was a baby then.
She'll never forget the moment that her dad put her on a carousel as an infant. She will never forget that memory. Also, are you supposed to put an infant on a merry-go-round? I feel like that's kind of dangerous.
I asked my boyfriend George to help me get the old merry-go-round running again.
Oh, that's nice.
It turned out to be the worst decision of my life.
Oh, I guess that's not nice. Okay, so apparently this carousel used to be a big attraction. I'm not sure why, it just seems like your simple run-of-the-mill carousel, but anyway. Apparently it started having a lot of accidents, and then eventually there was this big accident where a bunch of people got injured and somebody died.
Word spread that the ride was cursed.
I know that's surely not how fast they're saying the carousel was going. I'm sure it's just, you know, editing to make it look all spooky. But, I don't know, that'd be kind of a badass ride if a carousel like turbocharged like that. I mean, it'd be very dangerous, and you definitely would need like one of those roller coaster seat belts, but it would be fun, right?
People were too afraid to ride it.
Her like serene expression thinking about all of these people getting hurt or dying.
The curse! It got me!
It's not funny, George.
So George, the boyfriend, does not believe in the supposed curse, and I guess thinks that people dying is funny. So to get people back to riding the ride, because apparently people are still very scared about this supposedly cursed carousel, they decide to do this like PR thing.
I'll ride it for 100 hours or something, set a new world record.
Where the boyfriend will try to set a world record for how long somebody has ever ridden a carousel without stopping. So like he'll be up there for like 100+ hours or whatever.
No, think about it. I mean, the press loves that kind of stuff. We'll get all sorts of publicity, and then everyone will know that it is safe.
Honestly, get you a man that'll ride a carousel for 100 hours for you. How?
George, I screwed up.
How did that take out all of the lights? It's It's just one light bulb that she broke. Oh, hello.
Who are you?
It's okay.
So this ominous-looking cowboy is apparently an old friend of her dad's.
George, this is Ike.
She's like, no, honey, it's fine. He can sneak up on me in the random middle of the night. He knew my dad. It's fine.
Your daddy, he never believed that this merry-go-round was possessed by evil spirits. But I do.
But anyway, this guy very much believes in the supposed carousel curse.
Big mistake, Miss Penny, putting this thing together again.
Is anybody else getting Nancy Drew Haunted Carousel vibes? I really need to do more Nancy Drew video games, don't I? I talk about it way too often to not keep making videos about it.
I was at the controls that day. This thing went wild. It wouldn't stop. People were being thrown off everywhere.
Ooh, that is scary. I might take back what I said about the carousel turbocharged being a fun ride.
I'm sorry, but this damn thing should be burned up.
What was this? What was that?
Burned, I tell you! Burn!
Burned. I got it. Burned.
Burn!
He's still yelling from like all the way down the path. Okay, so the next day the press is all there. There's a big turnout. They're gonna do the whole record-setting carousel ride thing.
But what nobody knew was that they were about to get a bigger story than they ever imagined.
What about the curse?
There ain't no curse.
Late owner's daughter's boyfriend says, "There ain't no curse."
Set your watches, boys. I'll see you in 4 days.
Doesn't feel like a watch situation. Feels more like a calendar situation. And this guy, he's like, this stupid soul. So he's like barely gone around once when he calls the girlfriend over.
You're not gonna believe this, but I could swear the horse just bit me.
How?
Quit messing around.
Stop the ride!
Something tells me he's not messing around. No, this is good PR. So they don't stop the ride, and then he dies. Very sad.
Are you alright?
He's dead, Miss Penny.
Oh, what? Did you take his pulse from back there? Oh, hell no. I hate snakes. I hate them so much. I hate it.
It's cursed.
I don't know if that's a curse or if that's just the Everglades being the Everglades, you know what I mean?
The story goes that the carousel horses had been kept in storage inside a shed in the Everglades. A shed that was located in the middle of snake country.
He's still the best host. I love him.
Are we just repeating an urban myth that never really happened? Or did we get the truth straight from the horse's mouth?
Alright, that's the first story. Make your guesses now. True or false?
Consider this simple-looking wand. Can you believe it's actually capable of displaying the time in midair?
No.
Watch. See the numbers?
Wait, I really don't. I kind of see them. They're not showing up on camera very well. That'd be a really inconvenient clock to have, right? Because, like, you'd wake up in the middle of the night and you'd be like, what time is it? Boing!
The Sterling family has been seeing things lately. They're not sure exactly how to describe it, but then again, how do you describe terror?
Oh, this is Red-Eyed Creature. This one gave me nightmares. I haven't thought about this one in forever. I think I blocked it out. Alright, so we got this nice looking family moving into a nice looking house. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
There were also separate maids' quarters for our trusted nanny, Maggie. She and Billy had developed a very special bond.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay, so the kid wakes up in the middle of the night, goes to the kitchen to get cookies and milk. We've all been there. Is the milk haunted?
Who's there?
Don't ask who's there. Oh. Oh no. So the kid tries to tell the parents what he saw, and they try to gaslight him into making him think that he was just hallucinating.
It was just your imagination, Billy.
Oh, the ghost is magically delicious, Billy. So next day, the wife's in the kitchen, and the lights just go out. Yeah, keep flipping it over and over. That's gonna fix the circuit.
Who's there?
What is it with this family? As if you're gonna be like, who's there? And the ghost is like, oh, it's just me, ma'am. I'm sorry. Get out of your way. So now that two family members have seen this glowing-eyed monster, the husband calls the realtor and is like, look, is there something you're not telling us about this house? And a trigger warning for unaliving oneself.
The original owner hanged himself in the garage. There was no note, no explanation.
That's how you talk on the phone when somebody tells you sensitive information like that, right? What? Suicide? I've never heard of such a thing before. So that night the husband's like,
This house is not haunted.
and the housekeeper's just like,
But there's got to be a logical explanation.
so the wife's freaking out.
But I know what I saw, Dawn. If you don't mind my saying so, I think we should all calm down.
The housekeeper's just like, oh, I think we should all just calm our tits now. That's her general tone.
Look over there.
Okay, but that doesn't explain the fact that it had a whole face.
And Billy and I both heard that horrible breathing sound.
Maybe the breathing you heard was the heating fan kicking in.
Oh, they must have one of those breathing air conditioners.
Maybe we should have him see a child psychologist.
Do you really think that's necessary?
I think our kid might need to see a child psychologist to help with all these nightmares he's having and stuff. Do you really think that's necessary?
Oh, I think that's a bit drastic.
There's nothing wrong with seeing a psychologist, guys. Come on. So the housekeeper, or nanny, I guess she's the nanny, she's like, I'll go talk to Billy. We're buddies. We're chill like that.
Oh, you have a wonderful imagination.
But it made me feel so bad.
Well, sure, that's how it works.
Our brains are just constantly out to get us, kid.
And then as we grow older, we pay less and less attention to our imaginations, and we live very dull lives indeed. You won't let that happen, will you, boyo?
Billy, promise me you will never stop being afraid of monsters in the middle of the night. Even when you're 45 and have kids of your own, they're gonna have to make sure that there's no monsters in your closet. So they have this little heart-to-heart. It's very sweet. Why are you looking at me? What did I do? God, it's so dumb, but it just genuinely gives me such anxiety.
Was there an evil presence at work here? If so, was it really the nanny?
So what does that have to do? Because they threw out the previous owner unalived himself, unfortunately. They threw that out like it had anything to do with anything, and apparently it did not. I'm very confused.
When you're shopping for a used car, do you really know what to look for?
No, I know nothing about cars.
You might think to pay full price for this car and then realize you should be getting half off.
Okay. Even with my lack of expertise when it comes to motor vehicles, I think I would know that half the car is missing, Jonathan. If I go to the lot and the car is missing its ass, even I would know. Maybe get a different car.
Take Sonny Rhodes. In order to sell a car, he'll break almost any rule. In fact, he's about to break a few commandments.
All right, so this next story is about a slimy used car salesman.
Hey, baby, great news. I see taillights.
I already hate him.
No. It self-tunes. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know about that.
That's not a thing. So this slime ball is constantly stealing customers from the more honest, hardworking salesman on the lot.
I appreciate you coming out on a day like today.
No problem.
Like this guy, he's a very nice guy and he's helping out this little old lady. He's making sure she gets a good deal.
What about that larger sedan over there?
You really don't want to buy that car, Mrs. Klein? That engine has over 150,000 miles on it.
He's making sure he doesn't sell her a car that was driven by Jesus. I guess it's a really old car. But then here comes this asshole.
You are far too classy a lady to be driving around in anything but the best.
Lady, you're too classy to not break down on the highway.
No. I just want to talk to him.
Settle down, Walt. You don't want to do this, man.
Look, if Walt doesn't punch him, I might.
Absolutely fabulous.
You con the old lady into buying the old car? Shame on you.
You stole my customer, you lowlife. Don't cut into my livelihood.
Not just cutting into your livelihood, he might cut into that one lady's life if it's as bad a car as it sounds like.
I took a car that hasn't been serviced in 6 months, and I sold it to that old bat for more than the sticker price.
So Sonny sucks. His coworkers hate him. Wait, we will beat anybody price. We will beat anybody price. They couldn't check the typos in the sign. So next, Sonny's selling a car to this band, these 4 guys, they need a new van to get to their gig in Las Vegas. And he's trying to sell them this van that just sucks. It's like falling apart at the seams. Cars don't have seams, but you know what I mean.
Sonny knew that the car was unsafe, but he didn't care.
Okay, Lanny, she's all yours. It's just routine. We check these out anyway. This baby's pre-puff.
So he sells it to him and lets him drive it off the lot without having the mechanic check it. Guess what happens?
Lanny Height and the Society Kings died tragically yesterday in a major traffic accident.
Murderer! He's just a straight-up murderer now.
You knew that van needed new brakes.
Oh, right. You're gonna blame me for all these guys dying. Come on.
You're gonna blame me for selling this guy a van with Twizzlers for brakes and then act like it's my fault when they all die in a horrible car accident?
The time was up, baby. When your number's up, it's up.
God, I hate this guy. There's a cat hair in my coffee.
3 of us salesmen went home early that night, but Sonny worked late, so it was his turn to close up. No one can explain what happened next.
Oh, he's gonna die. I don't like when people die, but in his own words, if his number's up, his number's up.
Who is that?
You know, this is when I'd start power walking out of the lot. Just a thought.
All right, what's going on here? Dom, come on out of there.
I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before?
From now on, you must take good care of your toys.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bye, Sonny.
Each of the 3 salesmen had airtight alibis for their whereabouts at the time of Sonny's death. And even if you believe it was them, how do you explain the 4th vehicle?
I mean, the guy sucked, so he must have pissed off a 4th person at some point in his life. I feel like there were a lot of people who wanted to run this guy over.
All of us are stars these days. We appear on screen in elevators, airports, shopping malls, and convenience stores.
Alright, so we're 3 stories down. Story number 4 is about this Serbian immigrant who comes to America to pursue the American dream. You know, we gotta love it for him.
24 hours every day I dream about only one thing. To bring my wife and 2 children here to America.
Aww. So this guy is a good, hardworking guy. He just wants to be able to afford to bring his family to America, and he's working this little convenience store, and he's finally saved up enough money to buy them all plane tickets here.
I'm going to see my family very soon.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Me too. I'm happy for him too.
I hate to speak ill of a dead man, but Mr. Ritter, you know, the old owner, may his soul rest in peace. He was terrible.
I love this lady. She's like, I hate to speak ill of dead people, but the previous owner sucked.
I wonder, what makes people that way?
He had no heart. He had only evil in his chest.
Oh, because all the stories have a touch of evil in them. I see what you did there. So this lady tells our main character, and by proxy us, that the original owner was like mean to kids and homeless people and was just all around terrible, and then he got murdered one night. And it was all caught on camera, but they haven't found his killers yet.
When I heard about his death, I wasn't sad. Oh, que Dios me perdone.
Lady's savage, I love her. So he's closing up early so that he can go and buy airline tickets when somebody comes in.
Give me the money.
Please don't hurt me.
Yo, whoa.
I don't want that. I want the box. The metal box.
No, he needs that money for airline tickets.
I didn't know how he knew about the metal cash box.
You don't? Okay. I don't mean to victim blame at all, but he did have the box out on the counter like 2 seconds ago, and he like pulled out a whole wad of cash, and he was like, look at this wad of cash. That's probably how the guy knew about it. So the old guy makes off with his money, and then...
It seemed like I was safe. But then...
Give us all your money.
Literally, as he's getting up off the floor after he's been robbed, 2 more guys come in to rob him. This is really bad luck.
Now!
Okay, you don't both need to pull guns on him. Like, don't pull a gun on anybody ever, period. But, like, why do they both have guns? Feels a little redundant. So there's no money to steal because the old guy beat him to it, like 2 seconds ago. So they leave in a huff. They're like, "Nah, how dare you not have money for us to rob you for?" So the cops come by, they review the security footage, and they only see the 2 guys that come in later on. They don't see the old guy at all. I think we all know where this is going.
Hey, I found something.
This is my box.
But then the one cop finds his lockbox with all of his money in it. And he's like, is this all the money that got stolen? And he's very confused, but very grateful. And then the next day, or that night, or whatever, the one cop comes back. And he's like, hey, we caught the two guys that we did see on the tape robbing you. And they just randomly confessed to murdering the guy that owned this place before you. And he shows him the security footage from that night.
Wait.
And the first guy that robbed him was the mean owner from before.
He's been dead for over a year.
So, what's the moral of the story? It's okay to be mean to homeless people if you save somebody's life savings from being stolen in the afterlife?
Maybe Stanley's evil soul was trying to redeem itself by saving a good man's money.
Why did they have to include the part about him being mean to homeless people? That had nothing to do with the story. And then what? Did his spirit just come back and give it back? I'm very confused. I'm left with many questions.
Is this mysterious tale fact or fiction? You make the choice. At your convenience.
That reminded me of on Hot Ones, where Sean always looks at the second camera. Okay, one story left.
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
I've never been anywhere where I saw wet cement. Atlanta is notorious for always having construction signs up and then never getting any construction done.
I have the tool to restore the damage.
Jonathan, it's all messed up now. You can do better than that.
In these days of spray-painted walls, it's hard to remember that there was a time, not that long ago, when defacing property was simply not tolerated, no matter what the message was.
In these days of these crazy kids running around spraying graffiti on everything, one wants to harken back to the good old days when people didn't like graffiti. People still don't like graffiti. Like, not just sprayed on private property or anything anyway. Although I have seen some pretty cool street art, come to think of it. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Alright, so it's 1941. We're throwing it back to before graffiti was invented, I guess.
There was a fire in the gymnasium and 2 students almost died.
The school principal is all upset because somebody set fire to the gym and 2 people almost died. Very scary. And now somebody's written Remember Pearl Harbor into wet cement, so he's pretty upset about that too.
Someone has deliberately defaced school property.
He seems to be more mad about it than actual Pearl Harbor. And then later on he catches this school bully bullying this kid. That's what bullies do.
You, come with me.
Okay, with all due respect, he looks great. He does not look like he is in high school.
When I was around him, I lost my perspective. I just wanted him out of my school.
He's been held back 12 years in a row. I just want him out of my school.
You really think you're a tough guy, don't you?
Tougher than you.
Great dialogue.
You know what you are? You're just a no-good, dirty little hood.
Watch your language.
I want you to write the words, Remember Pearl Harbor, on that blackboard.
Why?
Because somebody defaced school property, and I think it was you.
Alright, I don't really like this kid either, but this feels like a miscarriage of justice. Where's your proof?
I never had a kid defy me like this kid. He was the worst thing that ever happened to Ambrose Pierce High.
Worse than the gym burning down and 2 students almost dying? So he finally thinks to look at, like, the attendance records and try to see if the kid has skipped enough days that he can actually expel him. And when he looks in the books, he finds out that somebody has written Remember Pearl Harbor on every single one of his pages.
You broke into my office and defaced my books, didn't you?
I feel like if a waitress got his order wrong, this principal would go into school and be like, you told that waitress to get my order wrong, didn't you? Oh, also, Remember Pearl Harbor is written on his prized car.
You defaced my automobile.
No, calm down, son. Calm down. I would hate to see you get into trouble for hitting this punk.
I'd hate to see you take the blame for physical violence against a student, sir.
When did I touch your car? I've been here with you the whole time.
He's got a point. He's been there the whole time.
He was right. As usual, I had no proof that he did anything.
This gives off the exact same energy as in The Incredibles, when the teacher's just like, coincidence? I think not.
Get it? What does Remember Pearl Harbor mean?
Oh, is the twist gonna be that Pearl Harbor hasn't happened yet?
2 days later, the Japanese launched a sneak attack on our naval base at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, okay.
How could Johnny Evans have known about an enemy action that took our entire military by surprise?
They never proved that it was Johnny. I mean, he does kind of suck because he's a bully, but they never proved it was him right in the Remember Pearl Harbor on everything. Also, burning down the gym in the school had nothing to do with anything.
Is this story of the unexplainable graffiti based on an actual event? Or have we engaged in a sneak attack on the truth?
Sneak attack on the truth. My favorite quote from Beyond Belief so far. I'm picturing it as like on a billboard for Beyond Belief. Beyond Belief, fact or fiction. It's a sneak attack on the truth. Okay, so we've heard all 5 stories. Now let's go through them one by one.
You're not gonna believe this, but I could swear the horse just bit me.
This one's entirely plausible because the Everglades, so I'll just say true out of principle.
It's an urban legend that never happened.
Of course. I'm always wrong.
What about the story of the glowing red eyes that stalked the family?
False. It's not even like a fully written story.
The story of the red-eyed evil is inspired by an actual event.
What? I'm still confused as to what the event even was.
And how did you judge the story of the used car salesman who became a victim of his own greed?
True? I'll say true. I feel like they're at least gonna say it's true. Ghost driving cars seems plausible in the world of Beyond Belief, fact or fiction.
If you guessed this story was true, you're wrong. We made this one up.
I'm 0 for 3 right now. Oh my god.
What was your opinion of the convenience store that was visited by the ghost of the former owner?
False?
This strange story was inspired by an actual event. According to first-hand interviews conducted by author Robert Tralins.
Oh, come on. It's been a while since I've been this bad at it.
You defaced my automobile!
Okay, true. I gotta get one. Let me get one, please.
Did this story of the graffiti that foretold a disaster ever happen? Yes. A similar incident did take place.
I'm on the board! I got one!
Our theme tonight has been evil. The truth is, we designed these stories to test your ability to discover fact from fiction.
I apparently don't have any abilities.
For Beyond Belief, I'm Jonathan Frakes.
Bye, Jonathan. Alright. That was an episode of Beyond Belief. Let me know how you did in the comments section, because most of you probably did better than me. This show is just so confident. I love it so much. And I'm determined to just keep covering episodes until one day I finally cover all of them. There were only like 45 episodes ever made, I think, which it feels like there were way more, right? Seems like it was just on all the time. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Subscribing and sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me, guys. Thank you so much for 1,500 subscribers. I feel like we just hit 1,000 like yesterday, and then I blinked and we're already halfway to 2,000, so thank you so much for all the love and support. I'm really just hoping that you guys find this channel to just be kind of like a safe space on the internet for everybody. So that's really what I want for this channel, and I'm just really, really grateful that you guys are willing to come along for the ride with me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye.